stellar career. I mean, this guy just keeps stacking it up now. I'm telling you now, his career, when you look at it at the end of the day, and when you look at all his stats, man, it's going to be an incredible deal to look back on. But no, another great crowd here today. A lot of energy in the building. Rival game, playing against a well-coached Oklahoma team that we had a possession game with at their place, knowing we were gonna have to really be in a kind of a dogfight kind of game already. We were prepared for that. I thought again. Our defensive pressure was the difference in the game. I thought we had pressure all game long. There were quite a few broken plays in the first half there, and those guys were able to get some layups. But I thought for a better part of the game, our pressure defense was the difference. We forced them into 19 turnovers, 18 turnovers, I believe it was, and we had 19 assists. And really, that, to me, was the difference in the game.
Questions for Marcus? Raise hands, please. We'll get a mic to you. Joe Cook here in front left, please.
Marcus, looks like y'all were running a offensive set pretty consistently there at the end with the two screeners at the top. What did that allow you to do? And when you saw that they were trapping you pretty hard, what was your mindset trying to get out of that?
Yeah, that's just one of our sets. But really all it does is, get us moving. This encourages us to run with our motion offense and get to cutting, moving, reading screens and stuff like that. So, we know whenever we're moving it, popping the ball around and, sharing it with each other and getting assists, like Coach said, that's when we're playing at our best. So that's just one of our sets that allows us to really just get player movement and encourage us to move the ball.
Chip Brown, front right, please.
Marcus, are you, what's the mindset of the team? I mean, this is, I think, the 8th Big 12 win you had in a possession situation where you're having to gut out last-second stuff. What is it about this team? And with 4 games to go, you're, on top of the Big 12 standings. Do you approach the last 4 like a postseason game?
Every single game in this conference is a championship game for us. We're trying to win the Big 12, so, every single game is important and it matters, and, we play it like that. And as far as having close games, obviously the guys who returned from last year knew what kind of conference this is, and it's only gotten better. And ever since the summertime, Coach, we've all talked about, games, a lot of games are going to come down to, possessions and finishing out late game, whether that's on the free throw line or trying to get stops or executing on offense. We knew that, a lot of games in conference are going to come down to that. And, so we do a good job the coach staff does a good job of having us prepared for that. We practice a lot of situations so that, when we're in those moments, it's not anything new.
Corey, middle back here.
Great game tonight, Marcus. I know Coach is big on talking about how these games are like a boxing match, and I know the GAs hold up each round that y'all go throughout the game. And so having that type of mentality for a game like this, how does that affect y'all?
It just keeps us locked in. Everybody's always locked in, but, we talk about winning those rounds, those 4-minute games, and we have that up every single time out, so we're able to see, what we've been doing, how we've been doing, and, how many we've won, how many we've lost, and just keep track like that. So it helps us stay locked in, but kind of have to be locked in every single night in this league.
Cedric, front left, please.
Hey, Marcus, what was the reset like after Sherfield hit that 3? You guys didn't have a whole lot of time to process that because there was an overtime coming up. So what were the conversations like in the huddle?
At that point, he made a great play, step back, hit a great shot. He's a great player, obviously, what he's doing this year. We didn't secure a rebound, and, they were able to get a second opportunity, and he knocked it down. But like you said, at that point, it's overtime now, so we can't really dwell on whatever just happened. Kind of just quickly just said, hey, we got to rebound and finish possessions. But at that point, it is what it is. We have to focus on the next 5 minutes that we have to play.
Thomas Jones, front left, please.
Hey, Marcus, y'all still haven't lost 2 in a row this year. What does that say about how you approach the game after a loss, and more importantly, that week in practice after a loss?
I think we've been doing a good job of bouncing back. I think we're not trying to have to bounce back at all. We don't really want to lose games, but it is definitely a testament to our team and our staff and just the way we're able to approach games after a loss. And obviously, we've been doing a good job of it.
Obviously, Jabari's joined us, side of Texas High with 24 points today. Rosner, go ahead, please, front.
Yeah, Marcus, their coach has known Rodney a long time, says he's always been full of energy. How maybe has that energy helped you guys get through everything you've had to go through this year with the transition?
No, it's just been huge. On the court, off the court. We start every single day in the morning, and it's, it's good morning. It's great to be here. We're all thankful to be alive, and Coach does a good job of before we even start talking about basketball, just making sure we understand where we're at, and we're all grateful to just be here and be breathing every single day, and thankful to have the opportunity of life. So Coach definitely puts that energy into us, and I definitely think it spreads throughout the whole team.
Jabari, that stretch in the second half where you hit 2 threes and make that floating or that fadeaway runner, just what were you feeling during that time? And obviously it looks like the hoop's getting big for you during those stretches.
I was just trying to make a play, just trying to do whatever possible to come out with the win. Shots were falling, and that's credit to my teammates. Marcus found me a lot of times, especially in transition, and he was able to skip me the ball, and I was just able to knock down shots today.
Terry, back left, please.
Jabari, so can you walk us through what do you see when you decide fake, no fake? Because it's nobody knows, and every time we think you're going to fake, you don't fake and you hit the three. Can you walk us through what you're seeing on the court?
Honestly, it's not really nothing to really walk through. If the defender is closing out way too crazy, then I'll give him a fake. But honestly, I'm going to fake regardless if you close out short or if you close out long. So it's just up to the defender if he jumps or not.
Chip, front right.
Marcus, can you talk about every time you guys seem to need an answer, Jabari, hits a big shot, and what is that about him, and how are you seeing teams play him differently defensively?
Definitely a guy who's, a tremendous scoring threat. Gives me a huge sense of comfortability out there on the court, and he knows in big moments or whenever stuff's going on, if he sees, being off the ball, that the defense really keyed in on me, he'll just come to me and say, hey, I got you, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna knock it down, and he has that trust in me to get him the ball, and I have that complete trust in him to knock down shots. So it's nothing new, it's not a surprise to me, it's something I've seen since the summertime, and I think teams have, at this point, they're scouting him, they understand what he can do, but he's still able to go out there every night and get to his spots and knock shots down.
Last one for the players, Jeff here in front.
Marcus, there's different energy in this building than there was in the Irwin Center. How much of a difference does the crowd make in a tight game where you guys get a stop or hit a big shot and it seems like they're just the roof's about to blow up the place? How much of a difference does that make for you guys?
It's huge. It's huge. We definitely get energy from them. We feel like we also give them energy. Obviously, us making plays feeds it into that. But, we're definitely appreciative every single time that, the crowd gets up for us, gives us energy, and every single time they show up to games. And, it's definitely been a huge plus for us this year, and it's been a great experience playing in the Moody.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time. Raise your hand for questions for Rodney, please. Joe Cook here, front left.
Just how important is Jabari to this team this year, and especially today?
No, Joe, he's very important. I think all our guys are very important, though. I'll go all the way down to our scout team guys that help give us a great look in preparation for games. But Jabari's done a great job, and I've said this before, over the last month of the season. He's had an incredible approach to practice, and it's carried over for him in games.
Jeff here, front right.
Rodney, just kind of going back to what I asked Marcus, you've been a part of a lot of games in the Irwin Center. There's just kind of a different energy here with the students, where they are and everything else. What is it like in these tight games to have a legit, real home court advantage where you can feel it?
No, Jeff, you spot on. You said it. We have a home court now. The energy in the building by our students, the Corral group, they've been incredible all year. Longhorn Nation's been great all year. They've come out and really supported and rallied behind this team all year. And, we've had great crowds every night in this building. And, it's a big difference for us down the stretch when, you're able to get some adrenaline and get the guys going to try to want to will those guys to a win, will those guys to a stop. Our guys feed off of that at an unbelievable level.
Mark Ross in front.
Yeah, you've been part of some teams where you were leaning on freshmen, very talented ones here, but now you lean on veterans. How much different is that?
Well, Mark, these guys have played a lot of games, and we're playing deep into February right now, and games like we played today, we'll be in games like this the rest of the year. This is this time of year's type of games. But those guys, they've been great in terms of understanding what they're playing for right now. Every game's an NCAA tournament game. every game is an opportunity for them to try to reach a goal that we had at the outset of the year, was to try to compete for a Big 12 championship and try to put ourselves in the best position going forward in postseason play in March.
Yeah, Rodney, Christian and Dylan Dessou were both dealing with foul trouble in the first half. You guys had to go a little bit smaller. Wondering how you think you guys weathered that, and did it help that you've had success with those smaller lineups previously this season?
Well, a guy that came in and gave us incredible energy in the first half was Brock Cunningham. I mean, Brock was tremendous in that first half, and he was just playing winning basketball all over the floor. He was doing it on offense. He was doing it on defense. And, he really willed us into the halftime play and made a point of that at halftime, that he was one of the guys out there that was competing at the level that we needed to compete in the second half to try to get this done against a tough Oklahoma team. And, I thought he also did a great job with his leadership at halftime as well. But he was great for us today.
Coach, over the last couple of months, it seems like heaven has opened up and poured gifts upon you. You take over this team. You guys keep winning. The other day, you get a football from Drew Pearson. How are you handling all this success? What's life like for you?
Well, for me, I'm a believer, so I'm always give God the credit, and be thankful for every opportunity and every situation that we're involved with right now. Speaking for myself, I'm a strong faith believer, and having an opportunity like a guy like Drew Pearson. I mean, I grew up a diehard fan. I mean, I'd go out in the playgrounds and think I was Drew Pearson after I watched those guys play, but he was my favorite guy, and I always thought he was a class guy, both on and off the field, and was very proud that he was able to join the Hall of Fame as well, because I thought he was very deserving of it as well. I was a little biased because he's my favorite player, but he helped us win a Super Bowl during his time there as well as a Cowboy.
Congratulations on the win tonight, Coach. Now, Coach Mosier kind of praised how y'all have just so many weapons. And so as a coach, what's it like having so many guys you can turn to? And also, I just wanted to know if the refs tell you anything about when you tried to review that call on Dessou at all.
Yeah, a lot of respect for Porter. I've known Porter. I mean, he and I kind of came up in the business together. So a lot of respect for him and what he's been able to do over the course of his career and the way his teams play and compete. The play at the end of the game there, it was, I thought it was a play that was in the arc there and, was worth a second look, but I think as the rule holds, it had to be a secondary defender for him to be able to go and look at it again or something of that nature there. Thought it was a play where we kind of clearly had an opportunity to score the ball and continue to have some separation to close the game out. But Tony's an elite level official, and a lot of respect for him. And really, the crew we had today was an elite level officiating crew. These guys are called Final Fours, and they have the utmost respect for myself, and I'm sure Porter likewise in officiating a highly contested game. So we were fortunate enough to finish out this game with the win and come out on the right side of it.
Hey, RT, this was your first overtime game since Rice, and that was your first game as a head coach. Coach Beard had his charges dropped. Have you spoken to him, and what are your thoughts with him today?
You know what? I have not had a chance to speak directly to Coach Beard. But again, like I've said before, I love him like my own brother. I've always been very supportive of him and the type of man that he is, both on and off the court, and his character and the way he carries himself. But nothing but the utmost respect for him. And I know he's going to be a guy that continues to do great things in life.
Coach, you and Marcus both talked about how you treat every game like a championship game, but with 4 to go, every team left ranked, how do you best describe how things ratchet up here late in the season with March around the corner?
In the Big 12, you get it for one night. Whether you win, you lose, it's on to another great challenge the next day. Iowa State, they've had a great year to this point. We had a tough ball game at third place over there where they kind of outcompeted us for 40 minutes over there. But we really, to be honest with you, we deal with just the 40 minutes in front of us. We start our preparation. Our staff does a great job preparing our guys and putting our guys in the best position to try to be successful. for the next contest, and that's what we'll do, no differently than what we've done all year long. We're playing a Tuesday instead of Monday, which we're happy about. So we get one more day of preparation and trying to figure out what we need to do to outcompete a really good team coming in here on our home court Tuesday.
Three last ones for Coach. Chip, you're on the far right.
RT, can you just talk about your level of confidence when your team finds itself in these one possession games? And what's your energy like with them in those situations?
Well, Chip, I've challenged these guys, here early February, really to start trying to play March basketball. Today was March basketball. You're going to be in games like this all year, whether in postseason play, to where you've got to maybe not have your best day today, but you got to find a way to get it done in those 40 minutes. And I thought this group, again, they've been very resilient all year long in terms of fighting through adversity. Had a chance to have the game won in regulation. We had to go play an extra 5 minutes. We really, in that 5 minutes, hit the reset button and said, hey, we're going to win this game with our defense. And a lot of times in overtime, the team that comes out in the first minute of overtime and sets the tone with how they're going to play both on offense and defense really finds a way to get it done in overtime. And I thought our guys did that, to start the overtime period.
Seems like y'all ran horn sets a ton, and it seems like Marcus is really comfortable running those sets. How much does it help that he, even with a lot of bodies around the top of the key, that he can make moves and assess things, even when he's got two defenders coming at him in those offensive sets?
Well, you lean on his experience over the years. I mean, Marcus is a guy that he's reading, what they're doing from a helping standpoint out there. He's reading the coverage, whether it's a trap. He's able to get the ball to a big guy, reverse the ball quickly to a guard, to where we're able to move the ball around and try to find an open guy, which we were able to do a couple times with Jabari Rice being an open guy out of that action. But he's really good in pick and roll. Whether we be in a horn set or whatever set we're in, you feel confident that he's going to make the right reads.
Rodney, I don't know if you had a chance to see the selection committee reveal before you guys got started today, but to be on the cusp of a number one seed this close to Selection Sunday, is that something you bring up with your guys at all? Do you want them to be cognizant of it, or do you change your approach when you have a veteran team as opposed to maybe a younger team, wondering how they might handle something like that?
Well, I think the thing we try to do, Jeff, no different what we've done all year long, is we just try to deal with what's in front of us. We knew coming in today we're gonna have a team in Oklahoma that was gonna come in and really challenge us from start to finish. To have to come in and try to outcompete those guys, would be no different than when we've got to approach Iowa State. But we've basically just been 40 minutes. We know that every single game we played this year on our schedule has been an NCAA tournament game, and you're building your resume every outing. Non-conference NCAA tournament games, conference games, every game's an NCAA tournament game. And you like to think that, I'm sure, myself, all the coaches in this league, great players in this league, we feel like we've got the best league in the country, and if you're able to, have a top finish in this league, man, you have a great opportunity to put yourself in unbelievable position for postseason play. So, our guys know what they're playing for right now, and we know every night we got to be ready to compete at a very high level.